Hope team can see my screen, right? Hello.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay, cool. The day 5 is the continuation of day 4, the Salesforce data model. We'll continue the discussing the Salesforce data model today as well. Okay. So in this today's session, we'll discuss like various types of relationships. Yesterday we were finished till lookup relationship. We'll discuss the other relationships today, and we'll have a use case for every relationship. This topic is like most important topic in real time. Like you will see the relationships everywhere in Salesforce in real world projects. So try to concentrate. So we are done with lookup relationship and its demo. Now we'll discuss the master detail relationship along with this demo. So this one we are done. Lookup we are done. So are we good with lookup relationships? Or like do you have any questions if I before I go to master detail? Okay, I would take it as no. So this lookup relation the demo we have done. So now let's jump to master detail relationship. It's one of the relationship in Salesforce. So generally, what exactly is master detail relationship? A master detail relationship is a tightly coupled relationship between two objects in Salesforce. Uh, it's like in the lookup we have seen like the parent and child are independent. We took an example, right? Talent and contact tables for the talent and client tables for the our onboarding app. And in that scenario, even if the client is deleted, even if the agreement for the client is done, also still the talent exists in the system as an orphan, as an child. But in the case of master detail relationship, if you want to do something, whether it's totally dependent on the parent, it's the sharing rules and the settings and this deletion part and everything. If you like, if you want to make the child 100% dependent on the parent, if that is the scenario, then we should go for master detail relationship. See, where the child is fully dependent on the parent, it gets a strong link with ownership, security, and lifecycle control. So various characteristics of master relationship are its strong dependency. As you can see, child cannot exist without parent, whereas in the case of lookup, we can see child records can exist without parent. So that's a strong dependency in case of master detail relationship. Cascade delete, deleting parent automatically deletes child, whereas in the case of lookup, like even if the client is deleted, we did not the talent is still exists in the system, but that is not possible with master detail relationship. And inherited ownership, child inherits owner from parent. Like it's like whatever the parent has, whatever the permissions, whatever the securities, whatever the access level, whatever the parent has, it will automatically apply to the child. Child can't go beyond that access. And inherited sharing, child follows the parents security roles in the same way. Like if there is any sharing things, if there is any security things, the child will get all from the parent only. And it's a mandatory relationship. So in this case, the lookup, the master detail is required, whereas in the case of lookup we have seen like even if the client is deleted for the talent, still the talent exists in the system. But in this case of master detail relationship, it's completely mandatory. Guys, remember, right? You know, in the Salesforce. So we had this relation, right? In the last session, from talent to account, from talent to client. So if we take this talent, and if we and let's suppose for our onboarding application, if the agreement is done with Tech Mahindra, and we are not like Tech Mahindra is not our client anymore, so I'll be making this candidate on bench. So I'll remove the client for this candidate. So in this case, you can see even the talent data exists in the system without the parent, without the client, without the parent. But in the case of master detail, if we create a master detail relationship, it's not at all possible. The parent is mandatory, and the every characteristic, everything depends on the parent. The child characteristics, everything depends on the parent. And master detail is a kind of relationship which has some special characteristics or special features within this master detail relationship, like they can aggregate the child data, like master data. In the master detail relationship, they can like the let's take our example, talent and client. In the client, we can aggregate the data of the child, like for that particular client, we can see how many number of childs they have, how many number of talents the client has. Like we can calculate the sum of that talents, we can calculate the minimum these are some special functions inside the master detail relationship. We'll see few of them in detail now. So let's switch to real world example. So in this case, the parent object is candidate, child object is onboarding task. So we'll create two objects and we'll go with this. So what is our requirement? Task cannot exist without a candidate. If the candidate is deleted, all tasks are deleted. Candidate shows total task completed. Candidate shows total task completed. Okay. So did you understand this example? This scenario? Hello. Speak up, guys. Hello.
Hello, bro. There,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Like, are you good with this example? So, in our onboarding application, we have two tables or two objects named candidate and onboarding task. Okay. So, in this
Okay.
scenario, if the for this task, the task cannot exist without a candidate. For every task, we should have a candidate. But in the case of lookup, we had a scenario where for a talent, we can have a client or not. The client may exist for the talent or not. We go to this lookup relationship. We had an example, right? See, a talent may or may not be assigned to client. Talent record should even exist without a client. But in this scenario, master detail relationship scenario, our scenario is task cannot exist without a candidate. If the candidate is deleted, all the tasks should be automatically deleted. And we also will use some special function to calculate the total task completed for the candidate. Let's switch to next slide. Business scenario, like a talent profile as an extension of contact. ABC Consulting wants to manage talent details profile that are always tied to client. Every talent must be linked to exactly one contact. Talent cannot exist without a contact. The contact is related. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Talent and onboard task. So we'll use this example. We'll create the candidate and onboarding task objects inside the Salesforce. So what is our requirement? Our requirement is to form the for our onboarding application. We need to form two tables. One table stores the candidate, and the other table stores the onboarding task. And if the Onboarding task, I mean, the onboarding task should not exist without a candidate. For every task, we should have a candidate assigned.
Candidate.
Candidate assigned. And if the candidate is deleted, all the tasks should be automatically deleted. So for this, we'll use this talent object as a candidate, and we'll create a task object. Task object. How to create the object in Salesforce? Custom object. Setup. Setup, then
Setup, create object manager,
correct. Super. Yeah.
create
Create custom object.
custom object.
Perfect. Yeah. So we already have a talent object. Now we'll create the task object. Onboarding task. Onboarding task. So you guys already know how to create the object. I'll make it very fast. The purpose of this object is to hold the onboarding onboarding task data. Onboarding task name. I'll enable these options. Developed, deployed, allow search, and I'll click this launch tab so that it will create the tab. We don't click this, like we need to again go to custom tabs and create the tab that I showed in last session. For the onboarding task, we need to create the tab, and I'll make the tab style as what are these building block. The purpose of this tab is to display and load the onboarding task data. So I'll make it as default on for now. As I like explained this three options, right? Default on, default off, tab hidden last session. And for like, can someone say like what I need to select here? Do you need to select include for all things, or like what I need to select? So we are creating the tab for the purpose of what exactly are these? We are seeing the names here, right? What exactly are these? Are they profiles, or they fields, or they apps, or are they objects, or what? Read it, guys. Here we have, right?
Uh,
Hmm.
app,
Apps. So for which app we need this tab? What is our app?
onboarding
Employee onboarding
master,
app.
employee onboarding.
Only this one. We don't need this tab to be displayed for other apps.
Yeah.
See. So we created the task. Let's create another object as well, so that we terminate the relationship. Candidate candidate onboarding task. Candidates. Pause me if you have any questions. What I need to select here?
Last onboarding.
Okay. Okay. So what did we did now? What did we did now? We created two tables, right? Two objects in Salesforce. Tables are called objects in Salesforce. One is onboarding task and one is candidate for our onboarding application. So, and I would like to map this relationship. So, I'll do one thing. I'll do one thing. Create a task one here. Created a record. So I need to link this onboarding task table to candidate table. Onboarding task object to candidate object. How to link that? What we did in lookup. We need to create some special field called correct. However we created for lookup relationship, we also have when you click on fields and relationships for that onboarding task, I need to link this onboarding task to candidate, onboarding task table to candidate for our employee onboarding application to track the task for the candidate. I need to link. So in the last session we linked candidate to client with the help of lookup. Now I will be using master detail to link this. And it relates to what? Onboarding task is related to where I should link. Are you guys following or like you are stuck somewhere?
Candidates.
Correct, correct. Candidates. Candidate. The purpose of this field is to mm, know or know the particular task belongs to which candidate. So I'll show you another special functionality while creating the fields. If you can see right, help text. So I'll use this functionality. I'll use this functionality to see what happens if we add some text here. Candidate is mandatory for the task. Onboarding task. Cell records. While creating this, we see some options here, right? Sharing settings. So at this level, select the minimum level access to master data records to edit, delete, or so. This is totally discussed in sharing settings, but I'll give an like high level overview of it. Like if we click read only here, so whatever the child records we have for this candidate, they will get read access. And if you give read write, then they will get read write access. I mean, they can even modify the data of the modify the data of the task, and they can even also view the data of the task. So I'll keep it as read right now, and I'll check this option like child records can be reparented to other parent records after they are created. So it's like we assigned a task to a candidate, and after some time I want to assign this task to some other candidate. If we don't enable this option, like we can't do that. Once the assignment is done, we can't reassign the task. So I'll use this checkbox and add this field to existing custom report type. Next. Now onboarding task. See, I like I like wantedly created one of the task inside the onboarding task object to show you this error, because as I said as I said you, for every child, the parent is mandatory in the case of master detail relationship. We cannot create a child without the parent. So this is what the error means. You cannot create a master detail relationship on an existing custom object if the records already exist. So in the child record for that onboarding task, I'm planning to map this onboarding task to candidate. But we already have a task existed. I already created it. But this task doesn't have any parent. Do we have any parent for this task? No, right? No parent for this task. So that's the error it's showing. Like you cannot create a new master detail relationship on the existing custom object if the record already exists. You must first create a lookup or populate the lookup field the data in all records and then change relationship type to master detail. So I wantedly created this task to show you. In the case of lookup relationship, we can create the child records. We can create a number of child records without the parent dependency, without the parent. But in the case of master detail, if you want to relate two tables, if you want to relate two objects with the help of master detail relationship, the parent is 100% mandatory. Parent is 100% mandatory. So for this case, what I should do, I should at least delete this record so that I'll start from scratch, or I need to change this relationship to lookup first and assign the parents and then do master detail. Are you guys clear, or like it's confusing? Hello. See, we are linking talent and account. We were linked talent and account in the last session with the lookup relationship. We were linked two objects, talent and account objects, with the help of lookup relationships. And if I create any talent here, if I create any talent here, uh, ABC talent, and if I create any talent here without the client, without the parent, without the client, I can create this talent. I can add this talent. But in the case of master detail, it's not at all possible. If you see, you cannot create a new master detail relationship on the existing object if the records already exist. Populate the lookup field with data and records. The parent is 100% mandatory uh, in order to create the master detail. So for now I'll delete this task. So now there are no tasks for this, and I'll say I'll again create this field. Now I like wantedly created that to show how it behaves. We click on master detail relationship candidate. I'll this description, I'll make it as read write help text. Candidate is mandatory for every task. Next. See, see, now we are able to create the relation. Now we are able to create the relation because there is no child data. There is no data exists for onboarding task. Now what I will do is I'll create the onboarding task. We are seeing the catch issue again here. Now out and log in. Onboarding task. See, her name it as task. Mm, employee or any test task one. Task one. So now I am able in the last lookup scenario we were able to create the talents without the client. But if you see this hashtags, if you see this hashtags, and if I try to create the task without the candidate, if I try to create the task without the candidate, Salesforce won't allow. So this is our requirement, right? We need to task cannot exist without a candidate. Salesforce won't allow. But in the case of lookup relationship, Salesforce allows. In the case of lookup relationship, Salesforce allows. We don't. If you try to create the task, we should at least think the candidate. And I added some help text here, right? While creating the field, I added some help text, and that help text is something which displays in this eye icon. If you hover on this eye icon, you can see candidate is mandatory for every task. This is what I added. While creating the field, I added have some help text, right? So let's create the candidate now. Manoj. Now, if we click on save, we are able to create the task. The task one is assigned to candidate called Manoj. Candidate called Manoj. And about this help text, I candidate is mandatory for every task. I'll show you. So while creating this field, I added a help text saying candidate is mandatory for every task, and that is what it is displaying here. And I'll create the new task, new onboarding task, task 2. And so there were two onboarding tasks that needs to be that were assigned to Manoj. So let's assume in the case in a scenario where uh, this candidate Manoj candidate has uh, left the organization. He left the organization, so we don't need him. Don't need him for our onboarding application. So if I delete this, if I remove this candidate, if I remove this employee from our organization, automatically all the tasks which were assigned to Manoj should be deleted. Automatically all the tasks which were assigned to Manoj should be deleted. Correct? So if we take this scenario, we have two tasks, task 1 and task 2. And if I unload this candidate, if I remove this candidate from the uh, from our organization, automatically all the tasks should be deleted. See, we'll see. This is our scenario as well. If the candidate is deleted, all the tasks should be deleted. The candidate is deleted, all the tasks should be deleted. If I click delete here, if I remove this candidate from our organization, and if we refresh this, see, the tasks were automatically deleted. That's the power of master detail relationship. Like the childs are totally, yeah. Go ahead if you have any questions. The childs are totally dependent on the parent. The tasks are totally dependent on the candidate. If the candidate is not there in our organization, what is the use of maintaining the task data? So in these scenarios, we will go for master detail relationship based on our requirement, based on our need, based on our the project need, based on our client need. We'll design the relationships in Salesforce. We'll design the relationships in Salesforce. So total task completed. Okay. Now I'll create the candidates again. Okay. So if I go to the candidate data, we have three candidates uh, in our organization. We have three candidates in our organization, and my requirement here is I would like to calculate the total task completed. For every candidate, I would like to calculate the total task completed. For every candidate, I would like to calculate the total task completed with the help of master detail relationship. So for this, I would like to calculate the total task completed. Let's In order to track that task completed. Okay, let's create an field here. So I would like to track the task status. I would like to track the task status. So I'll make it as, I'll make a pick list here in the onboarding. Task status. Or like I'll do one thing. Not required this. Instead of this, I would like to see how many tasks are assigned to the candidate. How many tasks are assigned to the every candidate? We have a few tasks, and we have few tasks assigned to the candidate. I would like to know how many tasks we have were assigned to Manoj, and how many tasks has been assigned to Nurse. How many tasks has been assigned to Shiva? I would like to know this. So for this, I'll in the candidate object, I'll create a Rollup summary. Rollup summary is a special field which is only available for the master detail relationship. So a rollup summary is a read-only field that displays the sum, minimum, maximum value of the field in the related list, or the record count of all the records listed inside the related list. So here, number of tasks assigned. Tasks assigned. The purpose of this field is to count the number of tasks. What happens if we had help text here inside the field while creating the field? Displays displays the number of tasks assigned. See, uh, rollup summary is only possible in the master detail relationship. So we can only select the master object, not the lookup object. The master object is candidate. I would like to know the number of tasks for this every candidate. Number of tasks for the every candidate. So I would like to get the count of the every task. Count of the task for every candidate. I would like to get the count of tasks assigned for every candidate. We also have few other functions in the rollup summary. All records should be included in this calculation. Only records within certain criteria should be included in the calculation. Okay. Next, I'll make it visible for all. Save. Okay. Now we'll go to the candidate's task. We don't have any task, right? So I'll create the task. Task 1. I'll assign it to Manoj. Task 2. Assign it to Manoj. Task 3. Task 4. Shiva. Task 5. So we have overall 5 tasks, and I have assigned uh, every task to I assigned a particular task to every candidate. Now, with our roll-up summary operation, with our roll-up summary special field in master detail relationship, I would like to know the number of tasks assigned for every candidate. Number of tasks assigned for every candidate. Again now. See, I created a custom field with the roll-up summary, right? As I can see, number of tasks assigned are 2. For the Manoj, we have 2 tasks. 2 tasks has been assigned for this candidate Manoj. If I go to Narsa, I see 2 tasks are assigned to the Narsa. And if I go to Shiva, candidate Shiva or employee Shiva, I see only 1 task assigned to candidate. Whatever the task we are assigning here, it automatically reflects here. And if I if I say task 6, and I will assign it to Manoj. Save. Let's go to Manoj, record Manoj. Number of tasks assigned 3. So automatically it reflects here. See, it will get the count of the task assigned for every uh, candidate. So for this kind of things, we should go for master relationship whenever the parent is mandatory, and whenever we want to get the candidate, whenever we want to get the task for particular candidate. For this scenario, we should go for master detail relationships. Are you guys clear?
Yeah, bro.
Okay, let's assume the candidate Manoj has 3 tasks now, and one of the task has been completed for the Manoj. One of the task has been completed, or one of the task is assigned in an incorrect way. So I like to remove that task. I like to remove that task. Let's say this task 6. Task 6. Like this is an incorrect task has been assigned to Manoj. I would like to delete this. So if I delete this, and if I refresh here, now I see 2. One of the tasks has been assigned incorrectly to this employee, this candidate Manoj. I have removed that task. So we can see the count as 2. So are we good, right? So this is the power of master detail relationship. Salesforce. This one, contact talent. So I want you guys to do this scenario. I want you guys to do this, implement this scenario in Salesforce. So whatever I did with master detail relationship, this is another use case where we will be seeing like talent profile as an extension of contact. ABC Consulting wants to manage detailed talent profile that are always straight away contact. So in this scenario, for every talent, there should be at least one contact. We already have the talent object. You don't need to create the object, and you don't need to create the contact object also, because we already have that contact object. So no object creation here. So while creating the talent, I want for every talent there should be one contact assigned to it. One contact should be linked for it as a mandatory, as talent cannot exist without a contact. And if the contact is deleted, all the related talent should be deleted. Other related talent should be deleted. Talent should inherit ownership and sharing from object controls. Okay, so I want you guys to do this, but just a small change here. Okay. And also, apart from this, I would like to create a roll-up summary field. Uh, Roll-up summary field to get the number of talents as a number of talents for every contact. Number of talents for every contact based on the status, based on the talent status. If the talent is active only, I want to uh, get the status of that talent. Are you good here? Okay. Okay, don't use that roll up summary, it will be confused. At least do this relationship and uh, do this, like if every talent should be linked to one contact. If the contact is deleted, all the talent should be deleted. I want you guys to implement this. Are you good with this scenario, or like any questions? Simple, like you need to link these two objects, talent and contact, and for every talent data there should be one contact as mandatory. There should be contact as mandatory. The talent cannot exist without a contact. And if the contact is deleted, all the talent records should be deleted. Are you guys, will you guys will be able to do this, or any questions? The same whatever I did for candidate on onboarding task, I want you guys to do this. You don't need to create the objects as well here. Speak up, guys.
So we will try.
Hmm. You like go through this recording. Whatever I did for candidate and onboarding task, I want you guys to do for talent and contact.
Okay.
The same, and also I would like to know the talents for every contact. Let's suppose we have a contact called Akhil. So for this contact, I should know the number of talents. Number of talents. Okay, please do that. So we'll see now. We'll see differences between lookup and master detail relationship. We discussed these two relationships, right? We'll see the differences, the major differences. Lookup and master detail. Lookup, in the case of lookup relationships, child record is independent of parent record. As we already seen that the talent is independent of client. In the last session, we created a number of talents without the client as well. Without the client as well. But in the case of master detail relationship, if you want to create a task, we need candidate for every task. We can't create the task without the candidate. As you can see, child record A is fully dependent on parent B. If you want to create the task, candidate is mandatory. Optional. Child records can exist without parent. Child record cannot exist without parent. As you can see, as we have seen, like if whenever we delete the candidate, automatically all its tasks were deleted. The task child data cannot exist in the Salesforce system. A cascade deletion of removes parent bit does not delete child. So in the case of this lookup, even if we remove the parent data, even if we remove the client data, in the case of our talent and client tables, the talent still exists. But in the case of master detail, as you already seen, if you remove the candidate, automatically his tasks were deleted. His or her tasks were deleted. Independent sharing and security. And for this lookup relationship, both the tables will have their uh, own functionalities, own security rules, own sharing rules. But in the case of master detail relationship, it all depends. The child data all depends on the parent. The child table all depends on the parent. Uh, if the if the candidate is deleted, task were deleted, and whatever the sharing and security things will have assigned to candidate, that will reflect to task. No independent ownership here. Child ownership, child access own owner, parent ownership. Child owner inherits owner from the parent. This example. So that's how it is. Are we good with lookup and master detail relationship and the differences? Are we good?
Yeah, bro.
Okay. Shiva, shall we continue this relationship, or like we can do this tomorrow? I think they are confusing. They are in a confused state.
You can continue with tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, because
Let,
they
let
are.
them practice.
Yeah, yeah. Guys, until and unless you practice, you won't get the things. Until today, till day 5, did you came across any single line of code? No, right? Salesforce is not that I can say easy. At least you can survive in the Salesforce system without writing code to some extent. These all things should get hands on at least, because we are not even writing a code. We are not even doing any logic. These are few topics. All you need to do is listen carefully and practice. And these are doable for every candidate. It's not like for this you need to have IT knowledge. You need to know this programming language. Nothing like that. Only thing is you should concentrate and focus and spend some time for practice. So, can someone reiterate what exactly is master detail relationship and what is our scenario? What we wanted to do? Where you guys are getting stuck? At least let me know.
There will be one lookup data and master data. In lookup data,
Hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
will be account and client.
Hmm.
If there is no client,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
if there is no client also, it can exist in master data without client. cannot exist.
Correct. The simple difference is in master detail, the parent and child are for every child, parent is mandatory. In the case of lookup, parent is not mandatory. The child data still can exist in the Salesforce system without the parent. Like practice the use case which I have given, contact and the contact and the
Talent.
yeah, contact and the talent. So are we good to wrap the session? If you don't have any questions.